It's Zoe back again. So, thank you for joining me to learn more about the world we live in. So, today I'm going to talk about just one healthy habit that we can adopt as a human being, which is to learn to not to take things personally. So, why do I say this? Because maybe it has nothing to do with us, and just that people are at war with themselves about something that we did, we said, or we have. These things we did, we said, or we have is triggering that insecurity in them and their life. This triggers them. These are scars or wounds that has not been healed since young, or when they grow up, they had these wounds, and these actions that we did or said or have, things that we have, are triggering them. That's why they come out in emotions. So recently, I had this incident that happened to me, and it made me feel very strongly about this. So, I'm a nurse, and I was to do an injection for this patient in the eye, and I asked if he has any pain. After putting numbing eye drops, he said there's no pain. And then I'm trying to do a marking on his eye. So when I do marking on the eye, I will use a metal caliper and press on the eye and do a marking. And I asked him, is there any pain? He said he doesn't have any pain. Great. Then after doing one eye, I continued to do another eye. And same thing. I press on the eye, and then he jumped and said, why are you doing this? Why are you pressing on my eye? And then I explained to him that I do the marking this way, and everyone's way is different, because my colleagues, some of my colleagues that does the injections does not touch the eye at all. They will just gauge roughly and then they do the injection. But I will want to touch the eye and do the marking so that it's more accurate. And he is triggered by this and asked me, why are you doing this way? Why are you not respecting me? Am I a guinea pig to you? Last time I didn't have this kind of treatment. I am very senior. Why are you doing this to me? And so on and so forth. So I apologized at first, but he didn't accept my apology. And after that, my colleagues came and tried to appease the anger, but it didn't work. And then after that, my sister came and he repeated the whole story again. And I said sorry again. And then after that, he told my sister I didn't do any apology, and said things like, and put words in my mouth that I didn't say. And I was feeling quite devastated, actually. So, because I have done injections for quite a few years, and I've of all the patients I've done, none of them reacted this way. So I'm really thinking about it. Like, what have I done wrong? What did I do wrong? Which step is wrong? Which step is so wrong that he reacted this way? Is it something that I said? Is it something I did? But I went through all the things that I did, and I think and dwell, but I couldn't find anything that is different to the other patients that I've done. So after a while, the patient stormed off, and the patient didn't want to do any injections for his eyes, and I was quite tense because delayed treatment may cause harm to the disease process, and this is something that I do not want to happen for a patient in my hands. So I just pray for him that he will come back for the injection, although he stormed, he shouted loudly that he doesn't want to come back anymore. Yeah. So I wrote a report saying this happened, and yeah. After 15 minutes, the patient came back, and the injection was done by another colleague. And after she did the injection, the patient wanted to see me. So I was really scared. Is he gonna scold me the second time? And thankfully, when I met him, he was calm, and he talked about what happened to him. And it is something that is out of my expectation. And he told me that because recently his daughter passed away, and it really, small things will trigger him to be angry and irritable. Yeah. So I can understand where he's coming from. And yeah, I don't blame him. It's just that, yeah, I think back. I shouldn't have, although I know about this habit to not always blame myself on the emotions of others. It's just that they are projecting their inner thoughts. But it didn't occur to me in this incident that he is having unpleasant memories that triggered him, until he told me. He told me that the daughter that passed on, and every little thing would trigger him, and he said he's very sorry, and he even gave me a pat on the back and a hug, saying he's very sorry for this. And yeah, that's the little story that reminded me to not dwell on things that you think you did right. Maybe it's just the other person having a bad day, and they're just trying to find a channel to vent. And just nice, you are there. So, so the moral of the story is, don't be too harsh on ourselves. Sometimes it's really not us in the wrong. So we just have to, I know it can be a hard pill to take, hard pill to swallow when emotions are roaring at you, but there's this concept that because it's him, it's not because of me. So don't be too harsh on yourself, okay? So that's the end of this episode. Hope you learned something today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.